Welcome back. Welcome to another edition of Nain's Shorts. Before we start, I want to remind everybody the VEA Collaborative is coming up. That's in April 12th, okay? So you still have a few days to plan around that. Make sure you make it. It's in Manteca. There's 8 great instructors that are going to be on the mat. And every time we've gone, it's just been a lot of fun.
Wait,
So
8th grade instructors?
8 great instructors. Do I need subtitles now? Is that what it is? All right, closed caption. So some people are hard of hearing, so I will repeat myself.
8th grade instructors.
8 great instructors are going to be on the mat, and it's always a wonderful time. So please, if you haven't made plans to be there, please do so. That's at the VEA Collaborative in Manteca, hosted by a good friend Mike Cardenas. And a lot of other wonderful instructors that are involved in that process. So again, if you haven't been, please do so. If you've been before, know that it's a great time and it's fun to revisit. There's always different instructors on the mat, so you always get something different, something new. And you get to meet a lot of really fun people that just like to train, just like you. And on that topic, we want to just talk about something that you see more and more of nowadays because of social media, because of this platform. We put ourselves out there. We put our information out there. And guess what? We open ourselves to judgment and ridicule. That's like nothing new. You present something a certain way to you, it's right, it's correct, it makes sense. And then all of a sudden you get bashed or you get talked about in a negative light or you get made fun of, which me personally, I don't care. I make fun of myself more often than people make fun of me anyways, and Rico definitely makes more fun of me than I make fun of myself. So it's nothing new to me. But you have to wonder, is it because of what we're putting out there, or actually more importantly, how we put out that information that changes the perception of people? I mean, you see it all the time, and you've seen it from every spectrum. You've seen the utmost ridiculous things of people pulling people back without touching them from 12 feet away with a cane. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen the videos. You've seen people no touch and all this other stuff, which, you know what, personally, I wish was real. I really do, because I am a geek like that. I'm a nerd, and I grew up with sci-fi and a bunch of other things, and I wish that that was a possibility. I would work my ass off to do it. And you really have to wonder, do these people genuinely believe what's going on, and how do they get other people to believe it? Because, damn it, I want to meet one of these guys just to see if they just have great selling techniques, because ultimately, isn't that what we're doing? We're selling our stuff. We're putting it out there to either convince people of something or entertain them or draw them into our business, into our schools, into our programs. I mean, folks, we got to make a living. It's a capitalist world, and that's what we have to do. So there's no shade, there is no hate, and I have utmost respect for everyone who does it. Even the people that do the no-touch stuff, as ridiculous as I think it is, because I haven't seen any proof of it working. But who knows? Maybe I meet one of these guys and they convert me and I become one of their biggest advocates. I don't know. Because ultimately, we are looking at just a piece. We're looking at a piece, at something that they chose to show a certain way, and that's all we have to go on. Sometimes it is a little ridiculous. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes two opposing videos both make a lot of sense, but then you look at what they're actually showing and how they're going about it. And can we truly say that we're smart enough to dissect what's actually going on? Or do we just jump on a bandwagon and start bashing people because we think that's what's happening? I don't know. This is really like a topic to sort of dissect more. Because if you're somebody who's creating content, then you definitely want that viewership. You want people watching because you get something from that. If you're trying to promote your art, trying to get people in, then that's something that you need to then think about in the way that you go about doing it. Are you just sharing information because you feel it's necessary to share? Again, that's a different approach. Or are you a random Mexican that got put in front of the camera by his teacher and now can't seem to get out of it? Regardless of the reason why you're in front of the camera or why you're putting this content out, are you hitting your mark? Are you achieving the goal that you're setting out to do? And does that come across? Are you trying to hide that goal, or are you very open about it? For those that have large viewerships, you're monetized. You make money off the people looking at your videos, spreading your videos, subscribership as well as viewership, right? All that comes into account. Does it matter for me? No, it really doesn't, because I don't have enough viewers for that to even become a reality for me. And I don't actually care. I do genuinely just like talking about training and martial arts. It's something that is ingrained in me. And this is who I am. Those who have met me in real life know this is Nain. This is the person that I am. So how I'm presenting it is literally how I would talk to anyone in person. So I don't really think about that. But then you come across other videos where you meet somebody and you know the kind of person they are. They're great practitioners and they put something out, and all of a sudden you're like, those two don't match. The person that we met and the information being put aren't the same. Now, can you imagine all the people that you've never met, that you've criticized or that you've laughed about, that turn out to be really good practitioners or just really good people? But here we are, the only information we have is these few seconds, these couple of minute videos. And that's all we go off of. And not only that, not just their personality, all of a sudden we're judging an entire system, an entire ideology based on that one video, on that one, say was a mistake, or it was just something behind the scenes that was never meant to be seen because it was just fun. And now we're judging an entire system based off that. We're thinking, oh, that's stupid, oh, that's dumb, oh, that would never work. Because I've done it. I've definitely criticized videos and said, oh yeah, well, he's missing this point. That's why what he's saying makes sense, but there could be more explanation behind it. Are we really looking at the context? And as the person putting on the video, do we even consider the explanation to give that context so people understand where you're coming from? And are we obligated to? Should we have to talk about and give the ideas behind it and the whys behind it in order for people to understand? Because I'm an avid believer that even if you were to do that, there are still people that are going to look at your stuff and say that's crap. They're still going to criticize it negatively. Then that begs the question, why even do it? Well, hopefully because you believe in what you're saying. Or you're just a great marketing individual and you're really putting yourself out there for that. Again, everyone has a different reason for doing it. But are you hitting the mark with it? And you as the audience, could we do more to overlook our prejudice, go a little beyond what we think is dumb, and can we really change the way that we view this information and find validity in it? Doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything that people say, because that would be stupid. But could we analyze the information a little bit better to then find validity in what they say, find a bit of credibility, even when we do disagree or at face value think it's dumb? There are some things you see out there and you're like, okay, that would never work, or why the hell would you show it that way? Because it doesn't make sense to us. But that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to that person, and it doesn't mean that that person didn't use that information to grow and become a better practitioner, to practice their craft better, and to become or reach the height that they are now, the level they're what's the word I'm looking for?
There's a dictionary in my.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Not helpful at all. Their rank. Thank you. Fuck. I couldn't think of the word. That they reached the
Rank.
rank. Yeah, appreciate it.
Rank.
That they reach the rank that they're in. Because, again, if they did get a rank and they have the certificate, they put in the work, that means that they put the dedication into that art to achieve that degree. And you can't take that away from them. I mean, you can bash them and talk shit about them all you want, but you still can't take it away. So can we acknowledge that, hey, maybe the way it was presented wasn't the best way? Maybe it doesn't make sense to me because of my own ideas and my own point of view. But does that mean that there isn't value in what was said? Does that mean that there isn't something that we could possibly take away from that would help us? Because ultimately, isn't that why we continue to train? Is to keep what we have sharp, but also to grow and learn and expand. Well, at least that's what I was taught, so that's what I believe. And there you go. That's how things happen. You go to a certain person because you think their stuff is good or cheap, regardless of the reason, and you grow from that. You in some way get indoctrinated into the ideas that you're being given by your instructor, and because you believe them, because you respect them, that's what becomes part of how you view things. Not just the way you practice your art, not just the way you teach it, but also how you look at everything else. That's your backdrop. And if our first ideology or our first thought is, that is stupid and I want nothing to do with it, are we missing out? Are we so stuck in our ways that we can't see beyond how we were taught how to do things? Because just because it works for us, just because it makes sense to us, doesn't mean it's going to make sense to everyone else. It doesn't mean it should. And it doesn't mean that we're right in saying that, no, that would never work, because we just don't know. Maybe it does work for that person's body type, for that person's height difference, for that person's strength. Whatever the case may be, we don't have all the variables to definitively say that is good or bad. What works for me, works for me. Awesome. What works for other people, works for other people. So can we change the way that we view this information and use it less to catapult our point forward, to emphasize that what we're saying makes more sense than others, and get more information from things that we don't necessarily agree with that can help us grow and become better practitioners? I mean, ultimately, what are we trying to do with this stuff? Are we selling a product? Are we processing information? Are we sharing things? Or are we just putting ourselves out there to be made fun of? Because, hey, it's fun to get views. It's fun to make people laugh and smile and give them just a moment of levity that has nothing to do with rigid training, just something funny. Who knows? That's to you to decide, but if we can do it better, why not? Why not improve? So give me your comments on that. What do you think? How do we view information better so we can get something out of it, regardless of what our initial feelings were about it? All right? So thank you for joining me on another one of Nain Shorts. I do hope you had fun, and come back to the next one. Till then, 3, 2, 1, cut!